fuck you. Yeah,
Do you think that's what they used to make the Nationwide is on your side song?
Oh, yeah, probably.
I really think it sounds like that. Yeah, like.
Oh, yeah, so excited. Got my friend here, writer, comedian, aspiring contortionist. You can see her on her OnlyFans. It's called Not Your Grandma's Ping-Pong Show. Trish Smart.
I actually recently wrote a joke that said my OnlyFans name would be Sandy Shook.
Sandy.
And there's more to that joke, but you'll have to come to a show to see it.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh.
I pick out more names that are even better than that one.
Nice. Yeah, so how's it going? Like, how long are you in town for?
Today. I got
Just
here.
today?
I was in Moorhead City last night.
Oh, okay.
Or wait, I came back later. I always get so drunk in Wilmington, so my voice is like 3 octanes lower.
Yep.
Can't smoke today. I'm gonna cough a lot. And then we're drinking again, so I feel better. This morning, I was like...
It's a drinking town with a fishing problem.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Well, this morning, I was telling my friend, I was like, I don't feel well. I need this like oregano oil and all this hippie stuff. And then I got a hot toddy. And then I was like, I feel better. I was like, it's the oregano oil. He was like, Trish, it's the alcohol.
Yeah. Breakfast of champions.
All right, so anyone listening, I do not have a problem. I am working on it. It's Wilmington. Wilmington's my problem.
This is a judgment-free zone. And you're here out of D.C. That's kind of your home base?
You know, this summer I took on a job every Tuesday in D.C. and then I hooked up with a couple friends to make other projects near Maryland, so I guess so. But in every sense of the word.
Right. Everything it takes to make it in the biz.
I tweeted the other day that saying familiarity is attractive is a funny way of saying you're banging every guy you knew in high school to kick off your 30s. And then the guy I was banging, I leaned over to ask him which was a funnier way of writing that tweet.
Yeah. You're just tweeting right in the middle of it. He's like, hey, can I get some eye contact over here?
I've been having sex with someone once, and I was like, you're going to miss my commentary. And he was like, I just really wish you just didn't talk about your commentary while you're doing the commentary while I'm in you. Like,
I totally relate. I do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I have very existential moments,
right?
And I'm like, this is weird. Sex is weird. Like, you don't need to do this.
Especially on shrooms.
Oh my God. One time I was at a music festival like 10 years ago, and I was on acid, and the guy I was seeing was so drunk he passed out, and he woke up and like wanted to do it, and I didn't want to tell him that I took a bunch of drugs, and that was like mind blowing. I was like, this is weird. I was like, we're not primitive anymore. We're not making anything out of
this.
Right.
Like when do we get to wear those things from Demolition Man where you just put on a headset and then just like fuck without touching, right?
Yeah, it's called VR.
Yeah. Well, I have a VR headset. I actually got into, like, I was trying to make VR porn. Like, I have a 360 camera and everything. But, like, yeah, it's
You were trying to make VR porn with Mark?
No. This was when I was a meth addict, so that explains a lot.
Every time you go back to that point in your life, it's always a fun story.
Yeah. No,
that was the meth time.
Meth time. There's a 2.5-year period. That's where the cyborg came from.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was like, aren't you a cyborg in a death metal band? You're like, no, that was meth in LA.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you done VR comedy?
No. I've been meaning to though.
Okay. After this, I'll tell you who to hook up with for that.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. I just had like a Reddit post that I had bookmarked to go back eventually, and I don't know. VR is weird. Like when like the Google Cardboard first came out in like 2017, it's just like $5. You put your phone in a box, and it was like, ooh, you know.
Yeah.
And I just got obsessed with it. Again, meth days. So I was just like, computer programming,
honestly,
making
might be
music.
Your best days.
Well, I got a lot of shit done, you know?
That's like when I stopped taking Adderall and I was like, I'll never be productive again. They're like, yeah, you're not going to be as productive as you were on meth.
Yeah, right? Like, well, let's see, like how much fucking can I do, and how much like your horniness meets your productiveness, right?
You're really pitching meth to me right now in a way that's really making sense. I've only done it once, and I was in Tennessee, and I was at a music festival that my buddy like was working at Bonnaroo. He's a sound and lighting guy, and he was like working for some artist that was pretty big there. And this guy, I was just like, "Do you have any like?" We started hanging out with these rednecks because my friend was like, "You can't manifest anything you want." I was like, "I'm gonna manifest a golf cart." And then these guys literally just drive up in a golf cart. It was like, "Y'all need a ride?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Do you guys have any ecstasy? It's like 3 a.m. and I want to stay up all night." He was like, "Got some meth." I was like,
Close
"All right."
enough.
I was like, "When in Rome, you know? I'm in
Right.
Tennessee. Fuck it." It didn't feel good. It just felt like shards going up your nose and.
It's a little rough on that intake, but yeah.
Yeah. Once you get it in there, it's like.
Yeah, well, don't smoke it because then you get addicted to the
that's
glass
when it gets
stick.
really good.
Yeah, the glass stick's what they call it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Sucking on the glass stick, you do that.
But how is my horniness going to meet my productivity if I never reach this euphemism? I almost called it a euphemism. I meant to say euphoria.
Euphoria. Yeah, it's great if you microdose it. So basically, like what my doctor gives me for my ADHD, like Vyvanse, can't really abuse it, but it's just like microdosing meth. So
wow,
yeah.
So never really left the realm.
No, actually, I think it was a mercy prescription from the psychiatrist. She was like, "Oh, you were a meth addict? Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, I think something's broken. Like, the adults in my family have ADHD," which is true. My grandma got diagnosed when she was like 60 years old with ADD.
Wow.
And so she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, she's giving me meth." Oh yeah, all right.
They're just giving those prescriptions out to anybody.
Yeah.
60-year-old lady. What do you even need to do? What do you need the meth for? You're not humping anybody.
That's not true. My grandma's still going.
Wow, I love that about her. Yeah.
She's 82, and I'm working on a project with her and my aunt. Like, they have a film and television production company they've been doing for decades. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to talk shit about older women. I just meant you don't need the meth to fuck at that point. You just kind of lift a leg like a dog in a hydrant.
Well, no, that's what cougars are a thing, because women don't hit their peak till they're in their 40s. Men hit their peak when they're like late teens, early 20s.
Thank God I have something to look forward to.
Right?
I was getting very scared.
Okay.
I was already studying all the different oils I was gonna have to put inside myself to make it work again. I was like, I'm not giving up on this.
Right. Yeah, there's for some reason not as much research into helping out with the female sex drive. I mean, I wonder why that could be.
Bastards. Because the men are like running the studies.
Right.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to control us. That's why they're doing the whole abortion thing. That's why they're. Yeah. That's all it is. It's about control.
See, that dude's cool. He's popular. He gets lots of pussy, and he's got a magic pill. He can go all night. Oh, you made a supplement for her? Well. Now she's just a fucking slut.
Have you ever used coconut oil then?
For what?
For lube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, all the different uses of coconut oil, you're like, well, that's the most normal one, so
shit,
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Shit, I think I've used Crisco.
She just sprayed Pam on him and was like, we're fucking doing this.
Non-stick.
Which finger do you want? 11? Here we go.
Yeah. No, fingers in the butthole are not a good thing. Even with the nails cut, it's still just like, let me stick sharp things in there.
I've never understood it. I don't know. I think like the illusion of someone like being near it and being like, oh, what's going to happen is like really fun. Right. But then once it's in it, it's like, this is not fun. I don't know why this would be fun. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to go.
Right. Yeah. See, like, I can understand cis women enjoying butt sex just because there's nerve endings there. There's a lot of nerve endings.
I don't think I've ever gotten something far enough in.
Right. So because you're too much of a tight ass.
Thank you.
Just, you're too neurotic to take it in the poop chute. Did I leave the stove on?
Oh my God. Next time someone tries to have butt sex with me, I'm going to let them know I'm a tight ass.
Right. Yeah, I have to give that disclaimer. See, that's what amyl nitrate is for.
What is that? Is that like GHB?
No, poppers.
I was explaining to someone what GHB was the other day, and I was like, yeah, it's the rape drug, but like some people take it recreationally. He was like, why would they do that? I was like, oh, it loosens your butthole.
Well, more than that, like.
And then he's like, how do you know that? I was like, I've lived with some gays.
No, you're thinking of poppers then, like.
Isn't poppers GHB?
No.
Okay.
No.
Please educate me.
Poppers are over the counter. You can get that at a adult bookstore.
No, I'm pretty sure all the gays I lived with in Thailand all just ate GHB regularly because they love the way it loosened their butthole.
Well, it does that too.
Oh, okay.
GHB is a lot more intense. Like GHB is a full-on drug experience. Like it's like being super drunk and relaxed.
Well, I've never had butt sex on it, but I've heard great things.
Sure, yeah. Moving along. Oh yeah. I was just asking you. You were trying to get me to come out and party with you on Thursday.
I'm always trying to come and get you to party with me.
Oh yeah, but you're the best devil on anybody's shoulder.
Yeah.
Man. Like.
I'm like, this will be fun.
Yeah. No, it would have been.
My Myers-Briggs is campaigner.
Oh.
So I'm always trying to get people on board. Yeah.
Mine too. Yeah.
Like, you need this.
Yeah. So it's.
Are you an ENFP?
INFP.
Oh, nice. So you're the introverted version of me.
Right. Yeah.
Cute. Yeah, that's why we get along so well.
Yeah. Let me guess, you're a Gemini too.
No, I'm a Virgo.
Get the fuck out of here.
Do you know your human design? It's a newer one. All right, I'm not gonna reroute this to the hippie pseudoscience podcast.
Oh no!
But yeah, get into that one. That one's fun.
Well, you know how the Myers-Briggs is total bullshit, right?
Why? Because it's a personality test?
Well, no, like it wasn't invented by psychiatrists or psychologists or it wasn't designed by anybody that has any experience in the health industry at all, even adjacently. It was just some
Myers is just some asshole.
No, it was a lady. Like it was a mother-daughter team who just, decided we're gonna create a personality test for funsies.
And now it's the most popular one in the world.
Right, like
that. Why'd they make it sound like a man made it so everyone would believe it?
Well, no, those are their names. Myers, their last names.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Myers and Briggs. Yeah, so, but they do sound pretty masculine, and. I mean,
fell for it.
Yeah.
I was like, some asshole.
Yeah. Well, if you want anybody to take you seriously, you've got to have a man's name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. My mom was like, she wanted to name me Casey so that no one would deny my application. And I was like, joke's on you, Mom. Can't even get a job.
Right. Unemployable.
Yeah. Oh, man. If I can't imagine myself having an interview right now. It would just be like, so you've been doing... What?
Yeah, same here.
Exactly, yeah. And you think you're just going to show up every day after all that? You think? Tight. Okay, but Thursday, so I was telling you about Tony. Tony was this guy that, he's much older. He can barely walk. And I kind of noticed him struggling to come in by himself, and I opened the door for him.
Okay, I did see him.
Yeah, he was wearing a cool shirt too. He looked very hip. He was in his 80s. And I was helping him in. And I was like, how'd you hear about the show? What are you doing? And immediately he was like, my wife just died.
Oh, shit.
I'm getting back into the world. It's been a few months. I'm finally going outside. And I just want to have a good time again. And I was like, man, Tony, I'm so happy that you're here. That dude went out with us all night.
No shit.
He smoked bowls with us.
Oh, hell
He took shots with us.
Hell yeah.
He got hammered. And I was like, Tony, do you want me to drive your car back? He was like, I already drove it back and walked back here. And I was like, that's why you were gone for 2 hours. I thought you just passed out somewhere and we were going to send a search party.
Wow.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, in a sad way, but it's not sad because it totally makes sense. I mean, if you're in your 80s and your life partner's gone, fuck it. I'll try shooting up heroin at that point, which I think that's one of the only things I haven't done.
That makes sense. Yeah, he was smoking cigarettes too. And I was like, dude, you can barely walk. I'm lecturing him on the value of physical therapy. And we were just taking shots. He was so sweet. And you know what's weird?
Well, see, when he was your age, women weren't even allowed to speak out of line.
Dude, and we had such long conversations about that. And there was this guy next to us that was telling us about how he's on ecstasy and how he's going to he was trying to join in, but it didn't work out. But he was telling me all about how women couldn't own their own place and how normal it was for someone to get pregnant in high school with a guy who had a nice blue collar job and just live with him for the rest of her life. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, what? Me, I'm always someone who believes the rules don't apply to me. During the coronavirus, I did everything wrong. Sorry, world. But
It's all your fault.
yeah, but I'm like imagining. I know it
You
actually
never should have left the lab door open.
it actually is my fault because I was in Thailand. And I was like, I wish I could stay longer, and then boom, the coronavirus hit. And I stayed for a year and a half, so it might actually be my fault.
Right.
Sorry, world.
You
No.
manifested.
Yeah, I manifested the world
global
shutting.
pandemic. Yeah.
I'm a powerful bitch. You don't even know. No.
I accidentally killed somebody with my manifesting.
Do tell.
Oh, no, actually, no, it was, no, I didn't think about it beforehand. No, there's people that I want to kill with my, no, I did see a hooker get murdered in a dream, and then the next day I was it was in the news, and it was like the same story of the hotel, like the lady was wearing the same dress, like the witnesses saw exactly what I saw, and it was like, oh, they're in fucking the news, like the next day.
Did you do it?
I was in somebody else's body that did it.
Did you sleep kill somebody? Like, what if you were just like sleepwalking?
I wasn't in control of the body. I was like a passive observer inside of somebody, like some old businessman guy, or like in his like 40s or 50s, like
Dude,
but,
that is wild. Did they catch the guy?
And I wasn't in the body of the person that killed her. Like I was in the body of somebody.
I know, I understand.
Yeah.
Imagine you going to the police sketching people.
Well, what happened was I was like going out for a cigarette and like opened the sliding glass door, and I'm on like the 10th floor, and then a couple floors above I hear psh, ah, and then like this lady in the pink dress like goes flying by and splats on the poolside below, and the people
so
down there
you
were
weren't
like,
even the
"Oh,
guy
yeah."
that did it. You were just like a passenger.
I popped into some witness's head in my sleep, and then I read about it the next day.
You should dive into this.
Dive into what?
There's got to be like some sort of connection or like reason.
Oh, no, shit like that's happened all my life.
Wow.
Like, it's just, it runs in the women in my family.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Did you guys were once in Louisiana, the witches there? What
Oh, no. The witch line goes back a long time, I think. I know, like, my great-great-great-great-grandma was a Portuguese witch, gypsy. A gypsy witch, yeah.
That's awesome.
I shouldn't say that publicly, because there's already people wanting to burn me at the stake for being a groomer.
What was your joke the other day that was like, it was like, she called me all these names, and it was like, you know, she was right.
Oh, that's my closer joke.
Oh,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to burn it here. Yeah. That was so funny, though.
Yeah, I hate crime. Well, so, yeah, it's interesting. Oh, I wanted to ask you, too. I wanted to kind of pick up our conversation Thursday night, because you were supposed to take me on tour this summer.
Yeah.
And you were like, it all collapsed.
It all went to shit, dude.
And I was like, oh, what happened? And it was like, oh, I gotta go back in. And so, but before you tell me what happened, I want to take some guesses as to why you're not taking me on tour with you.
Oh my
God. Is it because my big hands and Adam's apple remind you too much of your estranged mother? Is it because I'm too pretty and you don't want the competition?
No, Steph, it's because I don't make any money.
Yeah, well, I get a retard check in the mail every month.
No,
so.
I know. Yeah. Well, my plan was, so like originally when I was like, yeah, let's go on tour, what I was going to do was like come down here, pop over, you know, like do other spots, like take you with me and then come back. And then I got invited to a wedding, so I was like, okay, I'm going to afford that by like going on this tour. And I had this girl coming with me, and she freaking faked the night before.
Faked?
Yeah, like.
What do you mean?
Was like, I'm not coming anymore.
Oh, flaked.
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 Just completely bailed the night before.
I thought you said she faked the night before, and I'm like, how does somebody
No.
fake an entire night? Like it was some Truman Show, like magic trick she set up, like faked an entire night for you.
No, I do feel bad about that. We will do it in the future. I mean, I'm gonna be here. It will happen. It just sort of became this like. So I started planning to go to Edinburgh in late February, early March. And it just like, I made all these plans and I was like, I don't have any money. And I didn't. And I started going to all these Burning Man meetups. And then I'm like, oh, it's my 30th birthday when I go to Burning Man this year. So then I started like getting drunk with them every Thursday while we're doing like our planning and stuff. And then one night I was like, you know what? I'm going to do all 3 weeks. Like, screw Edinburgh. This is where I'm going to be. Like, I'm going to do this. And then I got my acceptance letter from Edinburgh, and I got like a really good time slot.
Oh,
and
shit.
I was like, man, I can't say no to that. So I had to come up with like $6K.
Oh, fuck.
And I have nothing.
Right.
So in the end, it all really worked out. But for that, it was just like, it became less about let's tour to like get our name out there and see like how like far we can take this to like level up, and more about I need to make as much cash as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was really just my own thing where I just kind of like freaked out a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, you like how I put you on the spot? Like, because it's not even bothering me.
No,
I just
don't
wanted
care.
to hear the story.
Yeah. No, I don't
I
care.
was actually trying to get to
I assumed if
Edinburgh.
you were mad at me, you wouldn't invite me here. So.
Oh, maybe I did just to set you up. No. Oh, Steph, you are becoming a woman.
Yeah. You're more deep-seated now.
No. But I was trying to get to Edinburgh this August too.
Yeah.
But that was for the Gilded Balloons So You Think You're Funny competition, which I submitted to like last year.
Is that in the festival? In the Fringe?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I would have been if I would have gotten through the first round, the second round would have been at the Fringe Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All expenses paid too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah, but it was a Zoom comedy show, which is kind of weird.
Ew.
Is that fucking yard work?
It's crazy that I can't hear it without... Yeah, it's yard work.
Son of a bitch.
All right, well, we're just going to have to hum in synchronicity over it. I can't because I can see someone's face behind you just laughing. Like, this is terrible.
Wow.
I like how you're like, I invoke the white trash rule, and neither one of us said anything. I was like, I can't wait to hear what this is.
I'm gonna pause this for a second. Okay, so that was a lot of fun. Beating a foreigner with his own leaf blower in the front yard on a Saturday
Yeah, you really
afternoon.
took it out on him. Is there something you want to talk about? It feels like when you were hitting that guy, it was something a little deeper.
I wanted to blow my own lawn.
Don't you every day, though?
Now I've got allergies. Yeah.
Someone was telling me that it was the bio-life misogyny that makes it so that the government can decide the ratio of female to male plants, because if you have more male, then they won't grow as fast. But it makes the pollen just outrageous. I'm always dying here.
Yeah. There's plant-based fuck fumes.
Yeah.
Right?
Plant-based.
Yeah. Good thing trees aren't people though, right? It'd be a different walk in the park. Get back to your car like, oh, now it's all white and sticky.
Wow, something tells me this isn't the first time you've dived into this idea.
Yeah, I've been mulling it over, just because like the pollen allergies suck. But So what's one of the most catastrophic? Like you show up to a show, and you just take one look at the audience, and you're like, oh, this isn't gonna go well.
Oh my god, all the time.
Oh, every time, just.
My biggest thing actually is when the room is too well lit.
Oh yeah.
So like last night, I'm sorry, was it last night? Yeah, I was in Morehead City last night. Great show, sold out. You know, really fun.
The name of that city is it doesn't
seems like
deliver.
they get less head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I got hammered there one time and I was like screaming, "Who needs Morehead?" Like, such an idiot.
I did a show there New Year's Eve. It was my last night drinking, and I made that joke.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did they like it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Well, so with mine, it was like I could see. I mean, you know me. I'm dark. I'm a dark comic.
Right.
So I could see all the people that don't like me, and I'm someone who acknowledges everything that's happening on stage because I want you to feel very meta, like you're here with me. Like
I've noticed
we're
that.
not watching a movie. Like you need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I was literally like saying things, and I was like, this isn't for the people in the back corner. Obviously, I know you fucking hate me. Like, I don't know why you're still standing here, but like, thank you for buying stuff at the bar. Tip your bartenders. And then I was like, but these people love it. So like, I'm not going to stop. And I also have a strategy where I like to pick out one person and make them my moral compass.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
That looks fun.
So Tim came up to me and he was like, there's a veteran in the front who asked personally to be made fun of. So he was like, have a great time, because he knew I'd love that. I got on stage and I was like, what's up, motherfucker? It looks like you eat pussy with a bib. And they were like, not having it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, stuff like that, like, when I know when it's too well lit, what I try to do is find the most like marginalized person. Like, if I can pick someone out for being a transition person, or usually like black women, just because if I can get them to laugh, everyone else will laugh, because everyone's going to look to them to see if it's okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then it's like a strategy, you know? So I always know that's going to be bad. Man, I've had some horribly catastrophic events. But I will say that I have gotten some compliments of people who are like, you don't give up.
Yeah, right.
Like, I've never seen you be like, fuck this, and get off stage. Like, you will power through that shit.
Right.
And you will not let... And, like, if I'm getting paid, I'll just, like, okay, I know when to pause, what up. But if I'm not, it's Armageddon, dude. I'll just start yelling at people. Like, we're all going down together.
Yeah.
Like,
so
you're not getting off this ship.
So is there a show that stands out for you for being a wreck that you
all
played
shows.
With the just every single
Oh
one?
wait, a one that like completely stands out to me?
Yeah, you're playing music on the deck of the Titanic. Yeah,
I've been doing this a long time. Yeah, that's a lot. There used to be a open mic in this place, Frederick, Maryland, and it was at a place called Guido's, which doesn't exist anymore. And it was the worst.
You're not allowed to say that anymore.
Oh my God, yeah.
Racist.
It was one of the worst ones ever. And like, I remember one night I just got so stoned right before it. And I kind of just sat up there and just kind of looked at everyone. And I was like, you don't fucking care. And I was like, don't act like you... But it ended up being really funny because I was like getting in people's faces. I was like, don't act like you even want to laugh right now.
Yeah.
Because you don't. And the first place I ever did comedy was the Dive in Las Vegas. And there, it's a heckle mic. They don't call it that, but it is.
Really?
My buddy went there and he was like, this is the best place in the world. It's so punk rock.
Wait,
like,
what's a heckle mic? Like,
it's where like the audience just yells at you.
And it's encouraged, like, or expected?
There are mics where it's encouraged and expected. This one is just like kind of without saying. It's been going on I've been in comedy for 7 years now. So it's been going on for a little over 7 years. And like, I took my friend there recently, a couple months ago, but whatever. And he was like, this is so much fun. Like, everyone just heckles you. It's so punk rock here. Like, no one gives a shit. And I was like, yeah, this is where I started out. And he was like, this really explains a lot about you.
Yeah.
But I got up there and I was like, I fucking dare you, bitch. And then, like, some guy started yelling at me. I started yelling at him. And it was awesome. But that's, like, nobody does well there. Like, not even me.
Yeah.
Like, that's a perfect example.
Just forged in fire.
Yeah, that's like just singing with the Titanic all the way down.
Yeah.
And like, they won't quit. I keep trying to tell them because like sometimes it's dead, sometimes it's packed. And I'm like, advertise yourself as the worst mic in the world.
Yeah.
So you can get tourists to come see the worst mic in the world. And they're like, it's not though. And I'm like, okay, truthfully, it fucking is. And also, like, that's how you're going to get people in here.
You're trying to sell hot sauce on Shark Tank.
Yeah. Like, it's awful. It's just so bad. A lot of them are, I mean, I guess most open mics. I feel I've been surprised too. Like sometimes I'll go to places and I'll be like, okay, I try to do like my more cleaner material, but after 20 minutes, I don't fucking have any.
Right.
So I'm just like, we're doing, and then like they will surprisingly love it sometimes, or at that point, if they love you, they'll let you get away with whatever, or they hate you and they're not gonna buy a T-shirt, so fuck them.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't even know if I have 10 minutes of clean material.
I tried for a while. I was like, this is something that's really important to me. And I believe I could do 30 if I like really put it together, but it's not really fun for me anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's my whole thinking about it, because it's like, we all know that there's more money in clean comedy, just more bookings, more opportunity, but like.
And everyone's like, you stand out. I'm like, suck a dick.
Yeah, right. Go fuck your mother.
Dude, I recently got in a fight with someone on the internet that tried to do like the women aren't funny thing. But I didn't like acknowledge him. I just kept saying like, dude, I just kept saying horrible things to him. He was like, I looked up your YouTube video, like you're just talking about dicks. And I'm like, if you don't like dick jokes, stop being one.
Yeah. Oh shit! That I just had a comment on my YouTube channel recently. Holy shit! I just heard a housefly.
It's a good
Must
mic.
smell your pussy. Sorry.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
She just got out of the ocean, so she's breezy.
Salty.
Salty.
Got some crabs.
Dude, the other day, oh my God, I'm sorry to interrupt your story, but the other day, like literally yesterday, because I was at Morehead City,
Right.
I like hadn't showered in a couple days. I'm like super sweaty. There's no AC in my car. I'm living in that bitch.
Oh
like,
shit.
yeah, dude, I'm like dying. And I go to Morehead City and I was like, fuck, I need a shower. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll just get in the ocean. Okay. There's a lot of things I didn't consider. Thing number one, I'm on my period. And I don't believe in tampons. So I'm wearing like these, things period
So
panties.
you're chumming.
Yeah.
You're chumming
Oh,
the
I'm
water.
chumming hardcore. Yeah. And it was like day one too. So it was like a hardcore chum.
Oh shit.
So
It's like that scene in The Shining.
it's exactly like that.
Okay.
Yes. Wow. Way to really paint a picture there, Steph. Yes, it is.
Hey, don't
exactly
thank
like
me.
that.
Thank Stanley Kubrick. Rest in peace.
So I go into so I'm wearing Things period panties, which are like period absorbent panties.
Right.
And I was like, okay, so I'll just like jump in, like wiggle around in like the Epsom salt, that pretends to be the ocean, whatever. And the fucking panties absorb all of the water.
Right. Absorbent. It goes
Yes.
both ways. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I get out of the water, and instead of going to the public bathroom, I decide that I'm going to wrap a towel around myself. I'm going to put a pad in this new granny panty cheetah print underwear, and I'm going to change my panties. So I have a towel wrapped around me.
That cheetah's been on the hunt.
Dude, this fucking guy starts making like serious eye contact with me. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, what I'm doing right now. Like, I feel like any second he's going to be like, the bathroom's over there. And I'm like, man, I've made this bed. I'm fucking lying in it.
Right.
So what I really didn't consider is how sandy my feet would be. So I'm like taking off what looks like got shat in period panties because they're like 4 inches thick now. And it was so bad. I was like trying to like wring them out and shit. They're just like covered in like blood and sand, and they were like ripped in some weird way. I threw them away, which isn't like me,
God, you're reminding me of my first date.
Jesus, Steph. Oh my God. So then, but I don't consider how much sand is on my feet. So I'm like, I can't be like shy about the pad, like I can't hide that this massive wad of like.
Just wave it.
It's just no, but it's like in the panties that I'm about to change into. And I take my like sandy foot and I have to like open it as much as possible to try to not get it in it. And I swear to God, the rest of the day, every time I pulled my pants down, I was like, check how much sand's in my pad. I was like, it was gross. I had a really gross day yesterday.
Thanks for that detour.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I have an even weirder one.
Well,
but it's less disgusting.
I got
go ahead. No,
back to the
back on
online
track.
haters. Yeah. I just want to get this one out because it was an interesting conundrum. I woke up and made a mistake, checked my saw I had a comment notification, and it said, you have major 5 o'clock shadow and male jawline. Or no, it's like dude, 5 o'clock shadow and male jawline. And I was like, well, that's mean, but I'm not going to let it get to me. That's his problem. But I told Mark about it, my boyfriend, and he was like, what'd you say back? And I was like, why would I say anything about that? And he was like, well, because you're a comedian. I'm like, oh, shit, I am. And it took me I thought of a bunch of shit, and I'm like, nah, I'm not going to fucking get into a YouTube flame war with some transphobe.
Well, it would help boost your video, just saying.
Huh?
It would help boost your video.
Right? Yeah. But I eventually settled on hey, just because my stubble and jawline remind you of your mom doesn't mean I'm to blame for your confused boner.
That's a pretty good one.
Double-pronged attack.
She was like, I got your mom and you're attracted to me.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. You want to fuck your mom, but you're in the closet, too. Yeah.
I can't imagine the kind of people that write that stuff on YouTube.
Sure you can. I'm sure you've met them because there's okay, so there's enough population that'll say shit like that to your face, and so I think the internet anonymity probably quintuples that number.
Yeah, because you're hide behind a screen. People say mean stuff to me on the internet all the time, and I try to do funny quip back. And then eventually, like, other people will just kind of take over the argument.
Right. Yeah, no. She's
And then I'm
awesome.
like,
Fucking prick.
I only do it just to boost whatever the post was. That's
Sure.
the only reason why I get back to them. Is I'm like, wow, thank you for helping me with this free advertising.
Right. Yeah. There's no such thing as bad publicity unless you're Jared Fogle.
Or Bill Cosby.
Yeah. R. Kelly. Donald Trump. Ugh. Oh, shit. You know, Trump and Biden are both running 2024.
No. They
That's
can't
what
let
it
Trump
looks-
again. He's going into a civil lawsuit
Oh.
about the January 6th thing.
He had like 17 different lawsuits going on the whole time he was president.
The state of New York is suing him.
Right. But a civil lawsuit doesn't, it's civil. It's not criminal.
Well, maybe it's a good thing because then Biden. I mean, I don't want to get too political, but I don't.
No, we can. Like, I'm finding that my material is starting to get political just because I'm
so affected by it.
Right. Like, I don't know about you. I mean, you have a womb.
Yeah.
And I know how much you love abortions. So,
Rules don't apply to me though. I'll hop down to Mexico, no problem.
yeah. Oh, that's where I got my dentures.
Yeah, nice.
And
I got all my dental work done in Asia.
oh, in Asia?
It's cheaper to take a flight over there, get
No
everything
shit.
I need done, and come
Oh,
back.
wow.
It would be like $2,000 here to get my wisdom teeth removed. So I
Oh,
went over there
wow.
and did it, and it was like $500.
Yeah. My dentures were like $3,000 in Tijuana.
Wow.
And it was like $6,000 in Van Nuys, which is basically
You know, I've
Tijuana
never-
just across the border. It's like the exact same fucking city.
I've never put together the meth habit and how good your teeth look. So I
No,
didn't even notice that you had
it
dentures.
wasn't from meth.
Oh.
No, I was in a car accident when I was 20. So, yeah, like 21 years ago, I flipped my car at like 77 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I've already told that story on here, though. I don't want to do the Joe Rogan thing of like saying the same stories and like, hey, so have you ever smoked DMT?
I mean, if you do a podcast 2,000 times, you're going to talk about DMT at least 8 of them.
Right. Well, I think this is like episode like 18 or something.
Oh, dude, congratulations.
I
I think I've only listened to like 1 or 2, just like passing in the car. Do you have like a theme that you're going for? Or you're just doing.
I guess it's kind of like Pee-wee's Playhouse, but with less public masturbation.
Wow, that's very surprising for you.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of you. Yeah,
Like,
you've come so far.
right? Megan's Law.
Yeah.
No, I recently described it to my upcoming guest, Steve Hughes from Australia, like as I'm kind of a shitty armchair psychiatrist.
Nice. Armchair. That's a good one. I like that.
Like I had Cam Smith on here, right? And
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the name of that episode is "Do Sociopaths Feel?"
Did you guys talk about me at all? Do you know about me and Cam?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so did you know that he refuses to do comedy shows with me now?
Why is that?
Because I've built an entire 5 minutes of shitting on him.
Oh, that's right.
He literally was like, he asked somebody, we were on a show together, and he was like, can I go after Trish? They were like, Trish is going last.
Oh wait, you told me that. Still.
Yeah.
But
And then
go
he
ahead.
fucking left.
Oh,
And
after
he
you talk shit.
refused to do it. No, not after I talked shit.
Oh.
I had done this so many. Okay, first of all, my 5 on Cam is awesome. Okay?
I've heard it. I
Yeah,
have heard
it's
it.
really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then, but it turns out he was like, can I go after Trish? They said, no, we're going to put you up right before her so she can make more fun of you.
Oh.
He fucking left.
Like
Like, I thought he was joking, but he wasn't joking. Because Cam and I are friends.
Right.
Even after that, we've hung out.
Right.
But he's just like, I don't want to do stand-up with you anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really, Cam? You can't handle it? Like, most of your jokes are just screaming about rape without a punchline.
Right.
And you can't handle that I'm going to make fun of you for it? Dude, when I was over here last time, you showed me his episode of his dating show when he lived in LA.
Dating No Filters.
Yeah. And the
Do you
girl,
like cockroaches?
yeah, and the girl, he was like, so we're done here, right? She was like, absolutely. Just fucking left. I was like, I don't know how you didn't get big off that, Cam. That was like the biggest fail I'd ever seen on one of these.
It was the biggest fail out of the whole season. Like, that was the only time a date got up and left in the middle of the episode.
That's amazing.
It is. That's like troll fucking... Like that's... I mean, that's like Old Testament level troll, you know?
Killing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like whenever I go before him on a showcase, which has only happened like a few times, because I have my material about being autistic and retarded, and being one of the Rainbow Mafia, one of those faggots and tranny, and like I use all the words that I never got to use growing up, but everybody else got to use them on me. So it's like my
You're
turn.
reclaiming your power.
Exactly. Yeah. Although social media doesn't agree with that stance, because their robots just see the words and say, "Hey, this is warning."
Oh yeah.
But like, yeah. So I'll do my routine, and then he'll go up, and as soon as he tries to use one of those same words, the crowd instantly turns on him because white cis guy.
Yeah. I thought when I first met Cam, I was like, man, he's like a year into comedy, finding his voice. He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna be amazing. No, turns out he's 10 years in. He refuses to change. And I respect him for that. I really do. But I was like, Cam, you have to find your audience, or else you're just going to keep scaring white women into screaming at you at a bar. That was one of the greatest things that have ever happened to me in comedy.
What's that?
I know that's one of my jokes about him, but it's not that this lady tried to attack him on stage.
Oh wait, I don't. Okay.
Well, this lady tried to attack him on stage.
Right.
And then afterwards, I had a field day. I did like 15 minutes about him. It was like, I had a field day, man. First, I was like, oh, this is the only good thing about being a woman in comedy. The only good thing is that someone would have stopped her.
Right.
Instead, he's like looking up at this lady that's like screaming down at him because she's so big. And I made fun of him so much that at one point I was like pretending that we were all at his funeral.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, and someone was like, I don't know why he did it. And I was like, I know. I have it on video. Who's got an auxiliary cable? I'll plug it in right now. And then the lady that yelled at him started laughing. And I was like, don't you dare laugh, or I'll start cutting his hair so that I can lead you from him or I can lead you back to his body. I'm like, because you fucking did that shit. And I was like making fun of her a lot. Right. Then she left out the back door because they were so scared of going by the stage because she knew I'd rip her apart.
Right.
And then the like finale of the whole like jokes about him was, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in comedy. And I'm like, not that lady that yelled at him. Not the fact that he finally made an actual punchline. And I thought the joke was pretty good. It was the fact that he tried to get through a joke about jerking off into his own face while trying not to cry about what just happened. It was one of the greatest things I have ever seen in my life.
I don't know. His jokes with punchlines are pretty good sometimes.
They are really good.
Yeah. No,
he just comes on stage and he's
Shrek
like,
2
would you rather have allergies or get raped?
Right.
Like,
yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
Fucking chill, Cam.
It's like,
I love that. I think he's like really creatively awesome.
Totally. Yeah, it took a while to like figure out what his deal was.
Yeah. No, dude, I went
He trolled me so long.
Dude, he's a big troll.
For like at least a year and a half, I was convinced that he was actually a devout Christian who was just doing a bit.
His characters are really good too.
Yeah.
Every time he's a character on stage, he's really good. I think he's extremely talented. I think that he's refusing to budge for anybody, which I totally respect. But I straight up told him, I was like, dude, you live in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Right.
Like,
right.
Either play to the crowd or fucking leave. And he's like, oh, I went to LA.
Yeah.
And then he showed me
2
all the
months.
stuff he did in LA.
Yeah.
Dude, he did a lot in those 2 months.
Yeah. Or was it? No, I think it was like 8 months or something like that. I'm just exaggerating.
Yeah, it was something really short though. But he did a lot. He got on a reality TV show.
Right.
He pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah. If you're offending people in LA, then well.
I liked his movie too. Did you see the movie that he made?
The 6-hour-long movie?
No, it was like the
20-minute
one.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Where it's like a guy beating up his mentally challenged child.
That sounds like something
dude,
he
it's
would do.
super fucked up, and his rap is really good.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan.
I wore his Camboy Smith shirt last night.
He's I just sent him a beat of mine. We're gonna collab on some music.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's really talented.
Yeah. He's
just a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. No, I love it. All
right, we have to talk about anything else because
if
Cam finds out we spent 20 minutes of this podcast just talking about him, he's gonna jerk off to it every time he can. So
I was gonna say he was gonna start texting you at 3 a.m.
He already does.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. He did for a while. He calmed down.
Does this look like an eggplant to you?
I'd be like, no.
No. Yeah, so you've been to Thailand.
Oh, I've been around the world, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So how... I know you've
I mean, I'll tell you about it.
I'll
tell you about it. No, I'll do it for the podcast.
I mean, like, how the fuck are you getting around? Because you've been in comedy for
7 years now.
7 years.
What happened is that I started comedy in Vegas. Well, yeah. I like kind of started in 2015, but like mostly 2016. So I've really been doing it for like 6. So what happened was I started out in Vegas. It was like just a real like, fuck it, I hate my life. I'm over it. I've always wanted to do this. I'm just going to start doing it.
Same.
Exactly, yeah. And everyone's like, where'd you start? It's like, the bottom, duh.
After my 6th concussion?
Yeah, like, what'd you get? Yeah. So I started out in Vegas, and I was doing those horrible open mic shows that I told you about. And it was fun. Like, I really loved it, and it was, like, the most exhilarating thing in my life at that time. And I think I wrote more then than I ever have. Like, now I have to, like, schedule out time to write and, like, really try. But back then...
Gotta fit it into your drinking schedule.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I write best after comedy. So I try to be like, okay, tonight, instead of going out, I'm going to go straight to this place. It's just me. It's just me in a notebook, and I'm just going to fucking write everything out I can. Or if I can get other people around, I really like doing like collective hive mind stuff.
That's my favorite way to write is hanging out at the bar. Just like...
Yeah, I'm really good at writing around other people. Like, I definitely can't be like in a room by myself. But, so I started out in Vegas. And it was terrible. And then, you know how I do that joke about going to Tokyo to kill yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that really happened. I took a one-way flight to Tokyo because I was like, if shit doesn't work out, whatever.
Go out into that forest.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I was like, you know, no one would really know. Like, my parents would just be like, oh, she went to some foreign land. Like, don't ever let your kids go to foreign. I mean, it's really sad, but like, I was just really depressed and sad at the time. But I went there, and it's amazing there. Highly recommend. And I did some comedy there, and I talked about like how I was gonna do that, and they all were laughing, and it wasn't even that funny. I think that they were just being polite, and I was like pausing, and then I was gonna go to Australia to work, but I stopped in Thailand, and I was supposed to stay for like 3 weeks, but I started doing comedy there, and I got like kind of pseudo famous.
Huh.
So I was like, oh my god, comedy might work out.
Kam kun klap.
Yeah, kapun kra.
Kom sabadi le.
Come sabadi la.
Sabadi.
Sabadi ka. Oh, it's what you're thinking of saying is sabadi mai.
Oh.
That's like you good or nah. That's like their what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to Thailand?
No, the owners of the liquor store across the street when I was living in Sherman Oaks.
Nice.
Yeah, they were from Thailand, and I'd just be like hammered on like a Tuesday afternoon, like
That's awesome.
just hanging out in the liquor store.
Is that one
like,
of your meth days?
No, this is more heavy metal, heavy drinking.
Nice. That's cool. So,
Just
yeah,
tell me about your culture and your religion. I want to learn all I can.
Your Thai's it's pronounced correctly, which is like 90% of the battle. But I do know a decent amount of Thai. But
I speak Chinese.
Ni hao.
Wohan hao.
I don't know how to say. I forget how to say good.
Oh, Wohan hao. Yeah.
Oh, that's how good. Okay,
Yeah.
because I said what's up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, got you.
Yep.
I thought ni hao was high, but ni hao mai was like what's up.
Ma. Ni hao ma.
Ni hao ma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ni hao. Yeah. You good? And then ma is a question mark.
Nice.
Yeah.
Every time I see an Asian person, I'm like, please be Thai. I want to fucking practice.
Well, yeah, no, like, yeah, I have a bit about, like, which is a bigger social faux pas, like, speaking Chinese to the wrong kind of Asian or telling a woman you just met that her transition's going great. Because I've done both of those things. They're not good.
I had a joke for a while when I was doing international stuff. I don't really use it anymore, but I was like, I think most people in the world speak English because we're the only ones that will fucking scream it at you if you don't understand. And then I'll start screaming in different languages trying to prove how dumb it is. Like when I was in Thailand, I'd be like, Swadika!
Yeah.
just try to like,
yeah.
But like if you can't speak English, an English person will just be like, hello!
Yeah.
Excuse me. So then, so then I was in Thailand. A friend of mine convinced me to drop my wonderful life there and move to Bali, and then that didn't work out. So I went to Europe, and I started doing comedy in Eastern Europe, and it was like the same thing. Like, da.
Ja, tu
Tak.
pit piva.
I speak some Polish.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Jak się masz? I know how to say some dirty shit.
Everybody learns that
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
Dat knin moja dupa, which means touch my pussy.
Bet you got a lot of use out of that phrase.
I did. I banged a Polish man for a while. Yeah. So then I went to like Eastern Europe. I stayed in Budapest for a while, which helped me out a lot later. And then I went through like Ireland and the UK and stuff. So I really like did the world as an amateur. You know,
Right.
like I was just
So what I was asking was like, because I mean that sounds amazing. I'd love to be able to pick up and just like, you know.
Oh, you're asking
hop
me
around.
how I did
Yeah,
it.
like.
Okay, so after that, I went and did the world again as like a semi-pro, and now I'm doing it now as like someone with a full hour that I would consider pro. You know, so I would say on each one of those levels, the way that I traveled was completely different into how I found those things. So, for example, when I first started, obviously I would take anything and I would do it for free. So it was really like I would go to a town, I would go to their open mic, they would really like me, they would ask me if I wanted to do other things. I would just stay there for a while and I would just like work with them and do it.
Oh, so you just started out nomadic.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't, I don't tour because of comedy. I really like running around.
Right.
But now, like, so back then, I love the freedom of being able to just get on a bus and go and do whatever I want. But now that I take comedy more seriously, I have to like plan what I'm doing.
Right.
Which is off. Like, I don't like plan. Like, I would really like to just be like completely just free, whatever.
You need a manager.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
need
they
money.
do.
Yeah, that's what I really need. Well, because and it's also like when tour starts to go really well, I'll forget to keep booking it.
Yeah.
And then I'll have like 2 months where I'm like, man.
But see, like a manager works on percentage.
I mean, if you know somebody, sure, I'm into it.
I mean, all it is like organizing. You give them 10%.
Yeah, if you know that person, I don't know anyone that's like willing to do, especially like, I mean, I get made fun of a lot by comic friends that are more successful than me, and they're like, you're like queen of the bar shows. I'm like, yeah I am, but like comedy clubs don't pay very well.
They don't?
No. I mean, when you're headlining, yeah, but like I have a friend, and I'm not going to say who it is because if they ever listen to it, they'll murder me. But
nobody listens to this.
Well, one day, I swear to God, I cannot have this come back to me.
Yeah.
But they're the owner of a very prestigious comedy club, and he's always like, "When are you coming by?" And I'm like, "When are you going to pay me?" And he's like, "When are you going to get a following?" And I'm like, "Touche."
Right.
So when you feature at a comedy club, you'll probably get paid $25 to $50.
Yeah.
The most I've ever gotten was $200. The only reason why I do okay at comedy clubs is because the headliner will subsidize their pay for me.
Oh. Okay.
And like sometimes I get to headline clubs and they still like, I mean, I don't have any credits. I don't have a following, but I advertise and I get people to come.
Right.
And that counts for something.
Every show I've done with you, like you sell out, you know.
Yeah, I'm very like
you were scrounging chairs like on Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like resilient about it, and I even take it seriously when it's not my show and somebody's paying me. Like I always get people to come.
Right.
I also have certain cities where people will come out like already wearing my merch. Like it's amazing. It's like a really awesome feeling to have that.
Yeah.
But it's not for nothing. Like I pay a lot of attention to that. Like I have a really strong email list. I should do more, but we all should. You know how it is.
Oh, I'm horrible about all of that stuff. Like social media sometimes like I can't function on it because I'll open up Facebook or Instagram or something like that and just 5 minutes or less of like, oh, look how much happier and how much fun everybody's having. Oh, wow, I feel really alone. Wow, this
fake.
really sucks. Like, and yeah, I just get like depressed like that. But yeah, so I just try and get on, do my business, and like step away.
No, heard. Yeah.
Like when I was drinking by myself all the time, it was fine because it was just like, hey, it's like going to the bar without the DUI, you know?
I just watched.
Just like dick jokes on every post, and it's like, well, no, that one was about a war veteran that just passed away. Oh, hello.
Hey. Oh, actually, do you want to pause real quick?
Sure.
Okay, we'll let him come in. All right, thank you for the Winston.
Yeah, I only offer the most expertise of medical advice.
Yeah, I told her my throat was fucked up.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
Put bleach in your eyes.
See her like you.
Hail, Satan.
Hail, Satan.
So let me ask you this. I'm gonna be selfish now and turn this around to make it all about me.
Sure.
What advice would you give to a comic preparing to do their first 45?
I would say you're really good at 45 when you have an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can just pivot through so much material. I think the first time you do your 45 minutes, if you only have 45, then you're like a little bit worried they might not like stuff and you can't cut anything out.
Right.
I'm not trying to daunt you. But I will say, like, that's my advice.
I've got a few weeks.
Yeah. That's my advice is have more time than you're allotted and you'll always be comfortable.
Yeah. Well, the thing is it's a headline spot, my first headlining spot. And
congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, well deserved.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so the stipulation, like the contract, is 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
I got breathing room, and I tried out the other day. Just can I do like, or how long can I go without looking at a set list? Because I've unfortunately used that as a crutch for so long.
Yeah.
You know, like once I started doing like 20 minutes.
Well,
like,
if it makes you feel any better, I've worked with some like headliners that are very successful, and like sometimes I'll be doing like an audition spot at a comedy club where I'm hosting, and they'll ask me to go and put their set list on a chair for them,
right,
so that no one else can see it.
right,
But they do have it, and then at that point, what I would do if you have the set list down, you don't want people to know that you have it. If you know you have a good punchline coming, and you know that people are gonna laugh.
While they're
laughing,
laughing,
look over, pick up your drink,
do
read the set list, keep going.
That's exactly what I do. But I've had some comics that have been in the game for decades say like, no, fuck the set list. That just means you're not confident in your set and your material. And it's like, but for me, it's just I'm always moving it around.
So my dad actually gave me my advice for how to not use the set list. He was like, you wake up in the morning and you start saying your set.
Yeah.
And like just do it every single day until I ask you to say it and you can say the entire thing, you don't know it.
Right.
So that's why I feel like I'm so like someone was telling me the other day, they're like, "Man, I went to a comedy show and like everyone was checking their notes but you." And I was like, "Well, you don't see me what I do all day."
Right.
Like,
well, see, like the thing is, I mean, I have a crazy retard memory. It is true. Some autistic people have superpowers. Like I can remember all this verbatim shit and like be able to just do the same tone, inflection, rhythm, like bam, bam, over and over. But I've just always been, you know, writing new stuff, and it's just always changing shit around like week by week. But what I'm trying to do to try and remember things is like just have like groups. So for like 7 topics that I'm covering in the 30 to 45 minutes that I'm doing, you know, it's like.
So I did it mathematically. Like the first time I started doing an hour was when I was in Thailand during the pandemic because I didn't have any.
How's that work? Like I meant to ask you that before. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no,
but
it's okay.
Like when you're talking about doing comedy in like Japan and Thailand and Eastern Europe,
if you're in a foreign place where you are possibly speaking to people who it's their second language, no matter how slow you think you're talking, talk slower.
Oh yeah,
that's it. That's the whole thing. You just talk slower, and then they can pick it up. And but I was gonna say, so for the hour, the first time I did it, I had it split into 16 sections, and I knew how many were in each section. Yeah, it's that noise again.
I thought you were done, motherfucker. Give me my gun.
Yeah. I thought you already beat him up. But so I would be like, okay, we're in section 8. I know I have 6 jokes for 8. Like, I know what's happening. Oh, you're doing background music, try to drown him out.
Yeah. Well, I figure let's just add on to the chaos, right?
Yeah.
But I want to hear your methods.
No, yeah. So I just do it mathematically. I'm like, okay, I know what number section we're in, and I know what number, like how many jokes are in it.
Right, so essentially you have like 4 different 10 minutes and then a 5 minute.
You know, with the smaller sets, and I know I should be better about it, I don't have a plan anymore. Right. I kind of just do whatever seems to be working. I also have a lot of jokes that I call like testers. Mm-hmm. So if I do a tester and they love it, I'll go deeper, but if they don't, like...
I've seen you do that too. Like, okay, they don't want to hear about my meth jokes, or
Yeah.
okay, but like
No,
Thursday night, you like it looked like you doubled down because you're like, oh, you guys don't like this material? That's okay, I got plenty more. And he's
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing this. I think like
no
as long
refunds.
as, again, like as long as you meta acknowledge like what's going on in the room and what's happening, then everyone kind of feels like a camaraderie together. Like we're all in this.
See, like I don't know if I'm ever gonna learn how to do that. I mean, social awareness is my blind spot. Like I'm progressing
But
to
it could be-
making eye contact. Like I
Proud of you.
I got that far.
It could be to your advantage though, where you're always just like, oh, is that a bad? Like, is that is that bad? Is that?
Yeah.
I honestly can't tell.
Right.
And then like when it gets like that again, you keep doing it. By the third time you say it, it's gonna be hysterical.
Yeah.
I would give that a shot.
Yeah. When if it comes up, yeah, or yeah. I mean, here's a question. When you're doing like your solid material and shit doesn't land, are you the type to address it and call it out, or do you just like skip ahead? Like, okay, they didn't like that one.
It depends
like
on
this
what
one.
it is. If it's like a tester, then yeah, it didn't work. And then I'll
Right.
like shit on myself a little bit. That usually brings them back. But if it's something that I know is funny, like I do this one like kind of political joke, but I know it's funny, I'll be like, dude, I don't care what your political stance is. That was hilarious. And that usually gets a bigger laugh than the freaking joke.
Right.
But it's just because people feel more comfortable to laugh because you've called them out for it, but not in a way that makes them feel ostracized. Like it's easy to make fun of somebody. It's hard to make fun of someone and not have them hate you.
Right. Oh, that's a whole nother skill set.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I talk shit as a matter of course. You know, like most people I don't think even know that I'm just constantly Don Rickling. That's a verb now?
Yeah.
Don Rickling.
Don Rickling.
Yeah, you're just Don Rickling people and like whoosh.
That's funny.
Yeah. See, that's a shitty thing that nerds do. Like before they go full incel and start murdering people on a bus or something. You know, like they just make jokes that the average person can't understand.
Yeah.
Because they don't know the big talky words.
Yeah. I've had a great time calling out people for that now where I'm just like, man, you guys should have laughed more. You know, that guy looks like a school tutor. No.
What is it? I just saw Mark Norman. I saw one of his YouTube clips where he's just doing crowd work for like 8 minutes at the was it the Cellar, I think. And somebody like he's asking for premises, so he's doing stand up like improv style. Like, here, give me something to riff on, you know. And it's like, all right, well, why don't you go do improv, Mark Norman? But like someone was like he was like, oh, Obama, okay, that's a good one. And then somebody shouts out, high school. And he's like, we're going with, oh, no, the Kardashians. We're going with the Kardashians. And they're like, high school. And it's like, yeah, high school. Obviously something you didn't graduate from.
People have asked me, like, how'd you get really good at crowd work? And I honestly think it's, like, once you're so comfortable with your material, when you, like, try to talk to somebody and it doesn't work, you know what you're going to fall back on.
Yeah.
So you know that it's, like, it's going to be fine, and it gives you the confidence to, like, talk to people.
Right. What if you just have a general distaste for the human experience in general, and like you feel cursed to
Dude,
walk
just talk
this
about that.
earth
Like,
and...
lean into yourself. You got to stop being afraid. Not saying that you're doing this, but like to anybody out there.
Right.
You got to stop being afraid if people don't like it. I constantly find myself telling people, stop asking people if this is funny and start telling them that it's funny.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
if you ask them, they'll say no. They want to see you fucking fall. Sorry.
Right.
But like,
Yeah, watch Kill Tony.
yeah. It's like the other day where the host got on stage. She was like, you guys all ready for Trish Smart? And then I got on stage and I was like, I tricked you into being here. You did not come to see me.
Yeah.
And I know that. And I was like, you could have Googled it. You could have figured out what was going to happen, but you didn't. So you're here now.
Instead, ping-pong show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. And
Cue the clown pussy
every
music.
time I find someone that's been to Thailand, I'm like, oh my God, you've been to Pattaya, haven't you? And then they're like, yep. And I'm like, that's Lost Shore Island. We know what you did there.
Yeah. Yep. Looking for the lady boys because you can't get them in England. I saw that documentary.
Yeah. Are you fading us out?
Huh?
Are you fading us out?
Oh, no. There's no rhyme or reason or format for any of the shit that I do.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Well, I do have to get going to the show.
of course.
But if you want to pick it up later, we can.
Yeah, I'm tempted to come to the show.
Oh, you should.
Who
You wanna
else
ride
is
with
on the
us?
bill tonight?
Oh, I don't know. Everyone in the group chat. I don't know. You want to come with us?
Very possibly.
All right. Well, if you
okay.
guys ever get a chance to go to the Acme Review in Wilmington,
It'll
it'll be wonderful.
Oh, I made my chin disappear like I was Harlan Williams. Oh, don't you know now? Don't you? Hey.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you.